May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be always acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I want you to go back in your mind a little bit. Do you remember the attack on the French satirical newspaper Charlie Hebdo by two armed gunmen back in January 2015? 12 people were killed and 11 others were wounded. It was a heinous crime and it shook the world. Do you remember also the movement of a phrase that started not too long after that attack, when others like the vulnerable, the marginalized, the outcast, the I look a little different than you people, the persecuted, the downtrodden, and anyone else who was being arbitrarily targeted for just being who they are, cried out, "I am Charlie Hebdo. I am Charlie Hebdo." That phrase changed to mean that anyone under attack or persecution or judgment, or were simply standing up for themselves and basic human rights, was taken to be, "I am just like them. I am Charlie Hebdo." And then the phrase quickly morphed and has been used in various ways, more notably in the violent treatment of black men and women with regard to isolated incidents of police brutality and death. The Black Lives Matter crusade has simply added the names of those who have been unnecessarily beaten and sometimes killed during an arrest or even a protest. So, when the middle-aged black man George Floyd was choked to death by the knee of the arresting police officer, and the young black woman Breonna Taylor, who was shot to death by the police after a raid on the wrong address in what should have been the safety of her own home, the black community in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Louisville, Kentucky are crying out phrases, first, like this one, "I can't breathe," but also, "I am George Floyd," and "I am Breonna Taylor." They are identifying with the plight of each individual because it could have easily been them. Of course, we know that not every police officer is abusing their power, but the point is well taken that it seems to be only the black community that is suffering from these unjust persecutions. The whole major issue of systemic racism has now been re-identified as a serious problem in our society that needs to be addressed. This problem is not just within the black community, but also among the Native community, the Jewish community, the Muslim community, and among any marginalized minorities in our own country of Canada, and also that of the United States of America. We should all be aghast at what is taking place in our society in this regard. This brings me to the gospel reading for today, which is the traditional reading of the 10 lepers. I haven't really preached from this gospel for a while because I thought that I had exhausted all of its potential until now. Traditionally, I would say that after the great miracle that Jesus performs by healing the 10 lepers, there is only one that comes back to thank Jesus for this amazing gift. Only one is thankful, and this being Thanksgiving Sunday. And on this Thanksgiving Sunday, there is a lot in our lives to be thankful for, so we all identify with the one who comes back to give thanks because we all want to be seen as thankful, right? We consider ourselves better than the other 9 because we are not selfish, because we are the thankful ones. But lately, now I have been thinking about our current situation of being immersed in this COVID-19 pandemic. So I don't even get to the healing part of the story. I remain at the place in the story that there are 10 lepers, all of whom are suffering from the dreaded physical and social disease of leprosy. What a tragedy, and what a curse. To be afflicted with a disease that eats away at your skin until your fingers and toes fall off and seriously disfigures your face. And it is contagious. On top of that, anyone with leprosy is considered an outcast from society. They are banished from their homes and the people who love them, and they are sequestered in what is known as a leper colony. They are totally cut off, isolated, and quarantined from all physical contact from their loved ones, and completely cut off from all economics and health care from the community to which they once belonged. Sound familiar? Well, this COVID pandemic is playing havoc with our social and physical circles as well, isn't it? We are all isolated right now. We are all quarantined right now, all cut off from each other and the society to which we belong, and from the people who love us, especially this Thanksgiving. And it is getting worse, not better. It is like we are all crying, I am leper. I am COVID. Because we are all in this together, not just here in Canada, but in the whole world. And if we are lost, well, then let's get lost together. And if we are hurting, then let's get hurt together. If we are sad or depressed, then let's all be sad and depressed together. When we are healed, then let's all get healed together. And when we are reunited, then let's all be reunited together. And when we are thankful that God has seen us through the fire of this pandemic, then let's all be thankful together. There is no need to split up or go our separate ways, because like you, I am COVID. I am leper. I am struggle. I am triumphant and eternally thankful for my God who loves me, for my mom who loves me, for my brothers who love me, for my wife who loves me, for my children and grandchildren who love me. So I might as well love me, even in these dark and stressful times. Jesus says to the lepers, go your way, your collective faith, your collective sadness, your collective sickness, your collective hope, your collective love, your collective struggle, and your collective prayer has made you well, both in mind, body, and soul. Yes, my friends, we do have a lot to be thankful for, don't we? Just count the ways. Amen? Amen.